Hello and welcome back to Easy Peasy Crochet. Today we'll be learning how to make these cute little bat babies. This one is one I made with teeth, and I decided to make one without teeth and see what it looked like. So I put just like a little nose on it. This pattern is kind of like the ones I've made with the little animals before. I'm going to show you here how it looks laid out. It kind of curls under, but that's just the way this one ends up. But the back just looks straight like this, and then the front is where we're going to get this zigzag. Okay, the first step in making the bat is creating either a magic circle or doing what I do right now, and that is getting the yarn on your hook, yarning over, and chaining 4. If you have trouble with any of these patterns, make sure you check out my channel for all videos showing all stitches and patterns. Okay, so what we're going to do after you chain 4 is go into this top space, the first chain that you did. We're going to yarn over and pull both of these over this yarn that we just put on our hook. After you do that, if you mess with it enough, you can usually find a little circle here. If you can't, you probably just have to mess with it more. But what we're going to do is chain 2, 1 and 2, and once we do that, we're going to start working into this middle space. When we do that, we're going to put our yarn through, or we're going to put our hook through the middle of our yarn, drop this over as a yarn over, and pull both of these, pull the middle piece off of our hook. Once we do that, we should have 2 on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through those 2. This is called a single crochet. I'm going to show you that one more time. We're going to go in through the middle, yarn over, take this middle piece off of our hook while keeping the first yarn over on there. We have 2 on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2. Right now, counting the 2 chain as a single crochet, we have 1, 2, 3 crochets. We want 10 around, so I'm going to go ahead and do those. And again, if you need help, please go to my channel. I show all my patterns, most of my stitches. I mean super slow for total beginners. I'm going to check in just a second to see if I have 10 around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I have 10, so I'm going to go into the top of my chain 2 space with a slip stitch, is what they call it. Yarn over, take this one off my hook, and then take that one off my hook as well. After this, you can pull your tail to close in your circle more, and I'm going to as I do single crochets, keep this kind of lined up and go over and under it as I go to hide my tail. If you don't want to do that, just leave it down like this, and you can weave it in later or just leave it hanging, because this part of the crochet will be the inside of your work. The next part of this pattern is going to be to chain 2, 1 and 2. And then I'm going to single crochet into this same space right here where my chain 2 is, with a single crochet. And then I'm going to go into this next one here with an increase single crochet, meaning 2 single crochets into the same space. And I'm going to do that for this next space and all the way around. So at the end of round 1 we had 10, so at the end of round 2 we should have 20. And I will meet you whenever I am to the end of the round 2 spot. Alright, once you've made it around to the second round, we're going to go into this second chain stitch we did here, and we're going to yarn over and pull through both these with a slip stitch, and I'm going to chain 2 once again. This next round is going to be, I'm going to go into the same exact space and put a single crochet. It's 1. And then in this next space, I'm going to go over to the next stitch with a single crochet. and then I'm going to go over to the next one with 2 single crochets, and then I'm going to go over to this next space with 1 single crochet, and the next one we're going to increase by 1 and make 2. So it's going to be 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet. So at the end of this round, since we had 10, 20, this next one, since we're doing one increase, 1 knot, we should end up with 30 all the way around. So once I get all the way around and have 30, I'll meet you back here. Alright, to work on round 4, we are going to slip stitch into this top chain space, just like we have been doing before. We're going to chain 2, and we're going to single crochet 1 single crochet into each stitch around. We're going to do that for the next 6 total next rows. And as you're working the single crochets, since it is the since we're not increasing at all, your work will start to bowl up to create the shape of the head. So I'm going to finish these up and meet you back here whenever I'm done with my 6 rounds. You're going to go around 1 single crochet all the way around, slip stitch into the top 2 space, chain 2, and go around and around. And all together, if you count from the top to where you end at row 6, you should actually have 9 altogether counting these first 3 that we did. And I'll see you back here. Alright, so here is where I'm at. I did notice I stopped pulling my tail, but that is fine, because what I do whenever that happens is I just take any scraps I have from this and I kind of just ball them up near the top of this and cover it just like that, so whenever you do put your cotton in, you don't see it through there. So that's a quick fix in case you're wondering about your center there. These next 2 rounds are going to be exactly the same. I've already slip stitched into my second chain, and then I chain 2. What we're going to do now is decrease. So I'm going to skip this. I'm going to go into this first one just like this. Sorry, I'll show you slower. I'm going to go into this next one, and I'm going to go in, yarn over, pull this one under the one on the work. You're going to have 2 on your hook. I'm going to do that over to the next one, and I'm actually going to do that one more time, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through. You should have 4 on your hook. Once we do that, it's going to be a little different. I'm going to go to this next one the same, and this is called just by the way, a decrease single crochet. I'm going to go into the next one. When you have 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through 3, and you're going to decrease single crochet to these next ones. 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through. You did it to 3 of these over here earlier because of the chain 2 space counts as 1, and you can't really decrease into that I have found. So I just go ahead and do 2 more here. So all this counts as 1. And we're going to do that all the way around. You're going to go into a single crochet, yarn over, take the single crochet out. You have 2 on your hook, go into the next and do the same thing. 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through. And after you've decreased all the way around, we're going to pick up on our last, the next one will be our last round for the bat head itself. So I'm going to see how far I can kind of get with you guys on the camera here. Yeah, I'm about halfway, so I'm going to stop it and then meet you back for our last round. If you're ahead of me, it's the exact same thing, and that makes the head. Alright, I'm here at the end, and I am going to slip stitch into the top chain 2 space. And once I do that, I'm gonna, oops, there we go. I'm gonna chain 2, 1, 2, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna decrease 2. Yarn over, pull through. That's decreasing And then I'm going to decrease right here just one. We're decreasing one but leaving one in a way because we're doing this, 1 and 2. And once you have those 3, yarning over and creating 1. So you're going in here with the single crochets, 1 and 2, yarning over, pulling through. This part gets a little tricky because it starts folding in on you. Oops, let me take some of that off my hook. But yeah, if you can keep going around, don't give up. It gets kind of uncomfortable and tight and hard to follow, but as long as you know how to do those decrease single crochets, you should be able to make it around. And if you need extra help with those, make sure to also check out my channel. So yeah, I'm going to make it all the way around and then get back to you about how to start on the features. Alright, I'm here at the end, and there's looks like there's one extra single crochet. If you ever get those, I would just, just do a single crochet in there without any worries of a decrease or anything like that. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the top of this space, and then that ends the round. If you had any squeaker toys or little jingly toys, I like to put those inside the little babies that I make. You probably should have done it, on the round before this, just when your hole was a little more open, but I could definitely slip mine into there. I would have room, probably not for a squeaker, but for my little shakeable one. And you should have plenty of room to add the cotton in little bits, or if you just roll them up into a ball, just kind of push them in there. The next thing I'm actually going to do is get the little baby bats out and then just kind of tell you about how I did these and show you how to do them right now. Any of the white you see is made with just needle and thread, so that'll just be something you'll have to know how to kind of do. I think if you know how to crochet, sewing should be a breeze. So yeah, I'm going to show you probably how I did the little cheeks first. The little cheeks are basically like our starting slip stitch and chains. I do this a lot with most of my stuff. I start out with the hook on here and I chain probably 3 with how tiny these little cheeks are. You chain 3 and then I go into this top space with the slip stitch, yarn over and pull both these through. And if you cut this off here, leave a few inches to mess around with these, and you pull this loop out, you kind of get this, you can just pull it in a knot, and that creates a little cheek. And so you would do that twice, and then with the needle and thread you would sew it right onto your work. And with the eyeball, it's the same thing, except I believe I will show you real quick. I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's going to give you the same idea of the same thing, except it's going to be a little bit bigger, which would make sense because the cheeks are smaller than the eyes. So yeah, there's your little eye, and you would just do your best to sew that on. And then your little cheeks below, and if you think your eye is too small, you can always add a couple more chains. And now I'm going to show you how to make the little ears, because those are a little more complicated. We're going to get your work on your hook here, and we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to chain 5. And then I'm going to chain 1 extra. Let's see, yeah, that looks about right. I'm going to chain that, and then I'm going to go into this 3rd chain on the hook with we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and yarn over. We're going to do a double crochet into the 4th chain on the hook. And we're going to do that across. Do it to the next one, and to the next one, and into the very last one. And so we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all together. And then what I'm going to do is chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to yarn over, go into this next stitch, and I'm actually going to yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to decrease my double crochet, go into the next one, do that decrease double crochet, and I'm going to do a regular crochet until the end here. Once you have that, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do a decreased double crochet across the top. Once we do that, I'm going to cut it off here. I'm going to pull it out from here, and this is what you should have. A little ear you can kind of cup onto your baby. And what I did, so you didn't pull down on the ear like this and kind of mess up the point, is I'm going to bring it in through the middle here, very gently, pull my yarn through my work, or my hook through my work, and bring the yarn all the way down to the bottom. Once you make it to the bottom, I would put it sort of at a slanted angle. You can look at the front of your work and see what would make the best bat ear. You can make them more down, up. You could flip them around to make them point certain ways. And yeah, you would just stitch that across with your yarn, put it in a double knot on the side, and then weave your work through your head. And yeah, that's how you make the baby bats. You can make them in different styles to make them cute or a little more grim and happy. And now I'm going to teach you how to make the bat wings. So I'll be right back to teach you that. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is work on the bat wings. To do so, we're going to do our slip stitch. And I actually think I'm going to use a little bit bigger of a hook because I'm looking at this now and I can tell I used 2 different ones for his head and for his body. So this one I'm going to use about a 4.25 hook and my yarn. And if you only have the one we were using for the head earlier, you would probably just need to add more stitches around that I'm going to get it to be about the same size. I'm going to chain 4 now, and this is a 4.25 hook. I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to slip stitch into this top space, yarn over, pull through these 2, and then I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, if you need help with this next stitch, it is on my channel in super slow-mo for you so you can learn it. This is called double crochet. We're going to yarn over and we're going to double crochet 11 into the middle here. Once you do 11 into the middle, the chain 3 is going to act as your is going to act as a double crochet as well. So altogether you should have 12. 11 of these, and then the chain 3 space counts as 1 at the end, making it 12. And I'm going to get back to you when I get done with that. Alright, now that I've got 12 around, I'm going to slip stitch into this top space, this 3rd chain, and I'm going to chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to crochet into this same space that my chain 3 is in. When I'm doing this is making an increased double crochet, and I'm going to do that same thing, but into this next stitch I'm going to double crochet 2 into the next stitch, 2 into the next, which would be the same stitch. So you should have 2 in that one stitch, 2 in this one, and then 2 in the next, and that's going to be all the way around, and then you should have 24 by the end of round 2. I'm going to skip ahead in just a sec so you can catch up. Alright, we're back. I've already slip stitched into the top of this chain 3 space, and I'm going to chain 3 more. My next round is I'm going to go into this next stitch and chain 2 double crochets into that. And then I'm going to go into the next one and just double crochet 1. And then I'm going to go into the one next to that and double crochet 2. And your pattern should be increase double crochet 1 and then double crochet into the next, and then double crochet 2 into the next, and double crochet 1 into the one after that. And that's the pattern all the way around. And since we have 12, 24, I believe the next round should be 36. And so I'll meet you back whenever I get done with that also. Alright, I've got to the end of my round. I slip stitch and chain the 3. Now what we're going to do is our last increase round. We're going to yarn over and we're going to double crochet into the next stitch across. Then right here is where we hit one of these double crochet 2 spaces. We're going to double crochet 2 into that, the top of that stitch. Once we do that, we want to double crochet into the next 2 spaces. 1, 2, and then we meet again with this double crochet increase stitch right here. We're going to double crochet 2 double crochets into that same space. So we're increasing on top of the increase, and then we're going to double crochet 2, and then when you get to that space you will double crochet 2 on top of that chain, or on top of that double crochet space. That's just a good way to keep track of what you're doing to make sure you aren't missing stitches. But if you want to, just remember to double crochet, double crochet, double crochet 2, double crochet, double crochet, double crochet 2. I'm going to finish off my round and then I will meet you back. Alright, in this next stitch around, we're going to get back to doing one of the same stitches we already did, and that is to do increase into each stitch around. So what I'm going to do is go into the same space that my chain 3 is in, and I'm going to put a double crochet right there, yarn over, go into this next space with 2 double crochets as well, and then into the next space do the same 2 double crochets, and do that all the way around. And I'll leave you there, and I will meet you back to do our next round. At this point, your circle should look a little like this. It's getting a little ruffly, but no need to panic, because we are going to stop our increase rounds, which means we're no longer going to be putting 2 in any of these crochet rounds. So I'm going to slip stitch and chain 3. And then I'm going to crochet into the next 6 stitches around. Into the next rounds themselves. So I'm going to do one double crochet into each stitch around, and I'm going to do that for 6 rounds. Once you have done that, your work should start to bowl up maybe a bit. And definitely start laying flat before it does that. By the time you get to the end, it may start curving up, but it should, for the most part, stay flat. And so there shouldn't be any ruffles in your work when you get done. And I will meet you here at the end when I get done. See, it's already starting to kind of lay flat over here a little. But yeah, I'm going to do mine around so you can see how it grows and stays flat. That way we could start working on the bat wings. Alright, so what we should have now is this kind of laid down circle. What I'm going to do is fold it in half. This is the inside of the bat, and this is the outside. I've slip stitched and chain 2. So what I'm going to do now is actually I'm going to slip stitch into the next 12 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oops. I believe this was my 11. Let me redo my 11 and 12. Alright, whenever we get that, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a single crochet into the next 4 double crochets. So on top of this double crochet spot, we're going to do 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then what we're going to do is 4 half double crochets. So we're going to yarn over, and it's like we're doing a regular double crochet, but instead of slipping through 2, we're going to slip through all of these. We're going to do it 3 more times. 2, 3, and our last one is 4. Now this is creating our bat wing shape, so it goes from small to large because we want to get that point. And right here I'm going to be working into this one space. I'm going to do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet to the same one, and then I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then I'm going to do 2 double crochets into that same space we just did 2 double crochets in. Once we get done with that, you can see that that brought our side part of our wing. This is the back middle. It has brought it to a point. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go down again, make our stitches smaller. We're going to do 4 half double crochets in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and then once we've done that, we're going to do 4 single crochets across into each stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, and at this point, sorry, I'm just gonna look at it with you guys so we can keep on track. That's the back, this point is on the side, and we are about right here. Once we get to this point, we are going to need another one of these points soon, because we'll end up with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and once we have those 4 single crochets, we're going to start increasing again. We're going to do 4 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Awesome. And when we have that, we're going to do the same thing we did on the point here. We're going to do it in this one space. We're going to double crochet 2 into the same space, and inside that same double crochet space, we're going to chain 2 and do 2 more to create our second point. And after that, we're going to double crochet 4 half double crochets into these next 4 stitches, just like we did before. And then we're going to do 4 single crochets into the next 4 across. 3 and 4. And then we're just going to do like we did over here. We're going to do an increase again of 4 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once we've done that, we're getting to the side here. We're going to do we're going to work into this one spot and do our 2 double crochet into the same space. We're going to chain 2 and do 2 more into that same space. When we do that, that creates the 3rd point, and then we're going to do 4 half double crochets in a row here. And then we're going to do 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do 4 of the half double crochets. And if you are with me and you're ahead, we're just going to do that same thing we did to make the other points right after this last one. We're going to double crochet 2 into that space twice, chain 2, 1, 2, double crochet twice, and then we're gonna half double crochet in the next 4. Then after you've half double crochet into the next 4, I want you to single crochet into the next 4. And then once we get to this point, there we go. Your bat wing should look a lot like this little guy. And so this is the front, and this is the back, and even though it's all the way over here, I am guesstimating. And what we're going to do now is just slip stitch all the way across. It is not the perfect pattern, so you're probably going to end up slip stitching more than 12 across, but it ends nicely, and when you flip it over, I think the bat wings look really great and in proportion. So when you turn it over, this may not be straight down the middle. Mine's over here, so I'm probably going to put more single crochets, slip stitches across, but that is fine. And so whenever you would finish your single crochet, you would slip stitch, tie off your knot, and then if you are good at weaving your heads in, you can weave your head in with crochet, or you can sew it on. But this has been my bat video. I hope you have a happy Halloween, and make sure to like and subscribe because that keeps me making videos for you guys. Thank you. Bye.